Tryna spend the whole M on some clothes. Got up on this, I sold out the show. Gonna like a pot on the stove. Yellow AP on all of my. I like when that wet on the toes. Picture me riding around in that rose. I put some ice on my wrist, it was swole. Still ain't got time with you.
Money bag. Money bag. Money bag. Looking like a money bag. Money bag. God, I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's he said it's a them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, yeah, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money bag, 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 money bag. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. He said you look like this. He makes sure he put Cardi down on his list. Now why this? Gonna look on my snap. I take your man and I won't give him back. I just walked into the booth and attack. I hit this button, the roof will collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these racks. That be lay, waist snatch, back, straight back. Got lips like Angelina, belly truck tangerine, jumping on my. That's why they call it trampoline. Back on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, yeah, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money bag, 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 money bag. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum, always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up, I see you at the again. While you was sleeping on me, I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. Baby, take it. Everything you want, I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go your man with my name in your mouth? I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, yeah, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money bag, 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 money bag. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways, sideways, sideways.
We want back ends, wipe my sins, They can't win, No new friends, Football fans, they sleep again, We wake 'em up, the champs is in, We want back ends, wipe my sins, wipe it. They can't win, No new friends, Football fans, they sleep again, We wake 'em up, the champs is in, yeah. Wake up, the cake up. raise up or make us do something we don't want to. Bite down on you, right now on you. Juke to the left, they dodging it. Can't play the role, you fraudulent. Waiting on the right for the stars in it. 4x4 double parking it. Wanna play like cars in it. Wear the white flag, they forfeiting it. Now I got a ring too gorgeous. Damn, I gotta treat it like.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Just a moment ago, the lights, the cameras, the action, all the pyrotechnics, everything was ablaze, everything was allowed here in Bank of America Stadium as Carolina emerged from their tunnel. And we are ready to go as the Panthers get set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. A shotgun snap for Newton. And it's caught by Parker. And he goes out right around the 39. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, Newton. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he's got some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
and they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complementary runs where he'll run it to the inside, but it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
Now Newton on first down. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he's got this down to the 35. 12 more yards there and another first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Here's Newton now on second down. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. A first red zone opportunity for the Panthers thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Now Cam, option left. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. To throw on second down is Newton. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Greg Olsen, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers take it right down and score on the opening drive. Gano out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. RG3 going to bring the Ravens up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And they'll run it here. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Love the run right there, and when you analyzed him coming out of college, when you tried to put a grade on him, you saw the flashes while he was in school, but you didn't see the full production. You didn't see the finished product. He's a little bit raw, but you can see why people liked him. Those types of runs make you think there's plenty more there, and we'll see if that continues for him.
Now look out, Griffin hit, and he lost the football. It's loose.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Griffin. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went. And
he's got a man complete. Breaks through the contact. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there for the Panthers. 46 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Newton. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Come on now. Great. Express.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And that play's not going to get him in as he stopped right at about the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now the Panthers get set, 3rd and goal.
And the defense has to account for Cam Newton on this play.
McCaffrey. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6. Gano the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Gano out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Here's Griffin to throw. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked up by Corn Elder. And a return across midfield into the 46-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And some room to roam now. 20. Touchdown, Carolina. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times have we talked about low man wins?
Gano out to kick this one away. The return man is Hill. And now Baltimore gets... set to take the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Now a play fake here on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. McCaffrey on the counter. Not a whole lot of room to run. Gets it to the 35 after showcasing the great move. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
From this vantage point, they've got the lead here, so for me, that'd be enough to go ahead and punt the football and let my defense defend the long field.
If you go for it, you don't get it, then you really put your defense in a tight spot.
Yeah, but we never know what people ultimately will decide to do here on 4th and inches.
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The drive begins with a run by Dixon. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last two drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down.
Watch it now, Barney! Over!
And on the ground they go with a running back. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On third down, that's Edwards. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Looking to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. On second down, it's Dixon. Room to run past midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. 1:59 to go in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dante Jackson, the first of his career. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. The rookie picked off the rookie.
And guess what? They're pretty familiar with each other. It's not like when I was growing up and the dinosaurs were roaming the earth and you heard about a guy somewhere. Now they run into each other at camps, going through high school ball, recruiting, college games, all-star games, you name it. A lot more familiarity with each other.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Green. Set. 180.
Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
180.
From the gun, here's Newton. And this one is incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And the Ravens taking the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. And that interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Out of the gun, Newton. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up? Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
Now that's the way to start the second half. Back-to-back sacks. Whatever the halftime speech was, I hope they recorded it.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Detroit! Detroit!
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first. This is McCaffrey on the give. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A great effort there. A 15-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Gano out to kick this one away. The dangerous Hill now to return. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirt.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And room there to work it inside the 25. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Here we go. That's it. 180. That's rock now. Hey, get right there. Get right there. Get right there.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
That's it. Black 80.
Now Cam, option left. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by James Bradbury. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
And the ball moved up here now to 2nd and 7 following the penalty. McCaffrey following the penalty. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Panthers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Give him 5 on the QB run, but it's going to bring up a 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
Green 39! Green 39!
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down.
On 1st down, they go with Dixon. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
And we're back now in Charlotte.
Lucky 56.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. They set up the screen to Hill. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker. Complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Ravens get a new set of downs. Give them 17 on that pickup. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now back to throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there of 22. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Back to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked up by James Bradbury. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Earl Thomas in on the stop.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Throwing on third down, Newton. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth. Here's Michael Pilardi now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And he uncorks a beauty, best of the day. And this will be taken at the 13. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, you know, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Ravens on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. They're going to look to throw. He's going to air one out. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by James Bradbury. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Finding some room at midfield. 38 yards on the scamper there.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And they take a knee. So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And Godot's kick is right through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now on first, Dixon again. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the Panthers, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew.
Superstars out. Brand new cars. We buy the ball now. Swing doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't skid. Splash. Think about us now on the ground. Man, the lead. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Pocket splitters. Don't think I'm ready. You got that swag. You got that something sell it. Free mind. Cash them out, we bellin'. Saw my teacher, I was the same student fella. Now I got a lawyer, straight cash, no settlement. I'm out my element, out my element. My the same, don't need no clout, no fame, got no clout. Bought the game, all brand new chain. I swerve the lane, call the group the gang. Put that thing